Go Grand Rising, everybody. Sorry I'm running late. My damn phone is not charging up. Phone was charging up. I don't know what the hell is going on. Um, but if you have never seen me, my name is Angela. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and turn your post notifications on to get notified when I make a new video. Um, I am an advocate of narcissists, and this is my journey of starting over, leaving a narcissistic cult family. A narcissist that I was in a relationship with for years who dragged me through the court system. Good morning, Queen. Hey, can you hear me? So I am speaking to the ones that's woke, the ones that's waking up, the ones that are in a relationship and they don't know what's going on, but they just know things are not right. I'm gonna start a gift gallery because today is gonna be good. It's gonna be good as fuck. So I don't know. It won't let me do it. But today, I think I touched about a little bit on the situation. Um, I think I touched on a little bit of the situation the other day. Let me see if I can pin this. Yeah, pinned it. So I stayed up after my son went to sleep yesterday, and I wrote. This is where the pen left off. So I wrote one, two, three, four pages, and it's about narcissistic families. They are like cults. They are cult like. My narcissist, apparently, Scotty. Okay, handsome. Can I hold you for ransom? Can you hear me, Scotty? Can everybody hear me? Because this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a banger, baby. So I think I touched a little bit on the situation the other day about narcissistic families. The one I was involved in, it was like thousands of them. They were like mass producers. They were like breeders. Each family member probably had like 7 to 8 to 9 kids. They were just spreading their wild oats. So the family I was associated with, they were like thick as thieves. And I believe this is a good one because a lot of people don't know when they're, hey, yep, for life. I can hold you for life. Okay. 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 A lot of people don't know when they're in a relationship. And no questions. I'm not going to get gaslit. We're going to stick to this topic. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them as best as I can for later. We're talking about narcissistic families. They are like cults. Um, Dex, what's up? Okay, he keep me grounded. Dex is another one of my mods. He keeps me grounded. They always are here and supporting me, pushing me, even when the days I feel like I don't want to do this no more. Um, so today we're just talking about narcissistic families. I stayed up to the wee hours of the night. I might have to break this up in two parts because I wrote down 4 pages. So the family I was associated with is deep because I believe I was with the lead narcissist, the lead cult leader. They always when these families are humongous and gigantic like that, they always appoint like the golden child, the child with the most money, the child with the business, the child who's like over the other family leaders. They have to run everything through this family leader, and I believe I was with the head family cult leader. He was appointed. I spoke a little bit on his uncle, and I believe his uncle was the one appointed back in the day. So I think when the nephews start having family, I was the first person. to have the first grandkid. So my child was the first grandkid of the golden child that kicked off like the next generation. So from my son was the golden child's son. So they immediately groomed him all his life. The, I will get into that a little bit later. Wealthy Risings Goddess, thank you. You said eye to eye, okay? Good morning. You know I'm blind, child. Little six. Sorry if I'm messing your name up. But so the title is Narcissistic Families Are Like Cults. I always want you to remember, guys, the narcissists hate you. They when you get out of a relationship with them, they will hate you. They will always hate you. They They hated you during the relationship. They hate you even more that you escaped and got out and healed and started your life over. They never wanted you to get out. They wanted you to stay in a vicious cycle there for their family members to torture you and abuse you. Um, Always remember when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, cult family. Um, Pretty much every family member works for them. You can never go back and express your feelings or talk to anybody in that family because they are flying monkeys to the cult leader. Um, they've been recruiting people to go against you. The narcissistic cult leader I was with, he had recruited his whole family to go against me. I think back, um, so when we got together, I had to always fight the cousins. I remember one time, they went in my jacket pocket and stole my IDs and put some babysitting checks in my name. And when the babysitting checks came, I didn't, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know anything about it. One family member pulled me over to the side and was like, they're getting these checks in your name, Angela. And I was like, what? I still have the paperwork now. I still have the paperwork now. Well, I had to write the state and say, they stole my ID. They got these checks in my name. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: how God don't play about me. My ID was stolen. Evidently, you can deposit anybody check in your account. So one of the cousins took my ID and, along with her auntie, to deposit the checks in the AT account. When I found out about it and complained about it, they froze the auntie's account. They froze her account and took the money out of the account and gave it to me. So, and just through the years, I had to fight and argue with them, fight and argue. It was just, it was always bullying and, uh, torture. Cult, big families like that, they have cult like tendencies. They follow the same patterns. They are programmed and trained. They always be large and in charge, and they always appoint to somebody for somebody to be the head cult leader. He's usually a narcissist, a malignant narcissist that I was with. They used to beat me. Those are the worst of the worst, the ones that abuse you and will beat you down. Um, they appoint him because he usually can have more influence over the family. They use him to appoint, like, everything has to be ran through the cult leader of the narcissistic family. You don't have any secrets when you in this family. Even if you start your own family, you can be well into your 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s. You can never escape this narcissistic cult family if you're born into this cult family. Say, for instance, that you were born into this family and you start your own family. They always will control you. You may want to branch off and do something for Christmas or Thanksgiving with your family. they will tell you, no, we're having Thanksgiving or Christmas over this person's family. No, don't go over there. No, it's like you can't have your own mind. You can't have your own brain. The narcissistic cult leader, which was my children's father, he thought of himself as smart, smarter than everybody else. Everybody else was dumb. And the dummies, they were usually flying monkeys, cousins, brothers, sisters, and they think about everything as ours as a whole. Even though he bought a house and I lived there and his family lived there and his Coat family, everything was theirs. It was nothing mine, it was theirs. So if you're with a narcissist and he has a big family, you would not it would never work, especially if you sit down and pay attention how everybody operate. I got introduced to the family, and of course, you guys know I'm an empath. I I didn't think, feel, and treat people the same way all of those people did. So I was exiled. I was like a rebel. Like, how dare she be a nice person? How dare she have a good heart? I was like poison to those people. They don't like empaths. They want somebody that will rob, steal, kill, lie. They don't want anybody with empathy or sympathy. I was like poison to them. So I was exiled from the first moment they saw me, and I was pretty. They was like, "Oh hell no." So yeah. And if you have children by these people, remember they will groom your children from day one. They will groom them to always be around them, to never have their own mind, to never have their own opinions. You were young and innocent. Yeah, I was young. But at the same time of being young, I knew something wasn't right. Like it's like you always have this gut instinct, like these motherfuckers ain't right. Like so I can't put my hand on it, but these motherfuckers ain't right. And through the years of me watching them stealing from each other, actually killing up each other, stabbing each other in the back, I say, oh no, I don't want to be a part of this. Like I don't want to be a part of this. Like they ass is demons. They're the devil. Yeah, I was young and innocent, and I think I think that that saved me from a lot. Even though I was young, I didn't let these people influence me to do bad. To do what they were doing. I just knew that something wasn't right, like internally, and I didn't want no parts of it. But I did have to fight them. I remember I had fought one of the cousins and then all the grown cousins. They were well grown into their 30s, and the mother put they it was like a carload of them, and they got out and the mama was like, I told y'all don't be doing no talking. So I guess they were supposed to jump on me, baby. I gave every one of their ass a run for their money. You see what I'm saying? Like they ass is a cult and it's crazy. I probably have to break this up in two parts. My phone was in charge. I didn't put my phone on charger last night. So it's the head psychopath. That's usually the head leaders. He is the one on top, like my baby daddy. He was the head psychopath. He was the head leader. He was the one that they said had everything together. He was like, and I noticed it back then, like everybody used to always praise him. He was the golden child from a young age when his mother was on drugs at the age of 6, 7, and 8, he had to be a go getter. He had to sell peanuts on the freeway to take care of his six brothers and sisters. He didn't have a childhood, so I think right then and there that started trauma in him. That set in the trauma from him not having a childhood, from him have to pick up slack, from him having to get a job or a hustle at 6 and 7 and 8 years old just to provide for his brothers and sisters. So he has a lot of, anger pent up. You know, that's not an excuse, but they enable him. Everybody they enable him. They don't never no nobody will ever say you're wrong, such and such, you're wrong, you're doing her wrong. I'ma tell you when you're doing right and when you're doing wrong. They're scared of him. They are scared of him, and it's sad that they are thought about as dummies, and he is thought about as like the genius of the family, and he can be fucking illiterate. He can't read nor write, didn't graduate from high school, but they label the head narcissist is usually a psychopath, usually a malignant narcissist. Those are the ones that abuse you, will beat you down, pull guns on you, etc. They label somebody like that as the smartest person in the family because he is a hustler, he is a go-getter. And a lot of stuff that was going on in that family, I won't touch on because it's kind of sensitive, but I will, bring exposure to these people because there's a lot of cult like narcissistic families, and we just don't know that they run in packs. We don't know it's a cult, but it is. Everybody is on in on it. Don't ever think that you can be a wife, a girlfriend, side chick, and you think you can run to a family member and just confide in them. No, if they got his last name, they're in on it. They're a flying monkey. And whatever you tell the person that you're crying to, soon as you leave, they're gonna pick up the phone and call the cult leader of the family and say, Angie just left from over here. She says she's gonna do A, B, and C. No matter how you think you can trust that person. That's why I say when I got out, I had to leave everybody from the past alone. Now what the narcissist will do is rack their brain and try to figure out who in my family was Angie closest to? Who did she always talk to? Now they will do that and send that person at you as a matter of fact, and that person will be like, oh, Angie, as a matter of fact, I came at your page, I stumbled across your page. No, they didn't. The narcissistic family cult leader sent them your shit just to infiltrate your world to get some information for you to let your guards down. And he'll be telling her, I know if can't nobody else talk sister to Angie, you can talk to her. Cause I remember y'all had a close relationship back in the day. See where she at. See what she could tell you. Yeah, they would use the person that they thought that you confided in back in the day. Once you leave those narcissists alone, you have to leave all the flying monkeys alone. Don't trust them because they get paid. Trust me, they hold the narcissistic cult leader who has money, who has businesses, who they appointed as the smartest, as the golden child. Trust me, he will send somebody to get some information out of you, whether he have to pay them or not. They enable him. Everybody is flying monkeys. Everybody is in on it. Don't ever think you can trust even one person. Everybody is in on it. They are born into it. Once you are born into that family and you share the same last name and their blood is running through the veins, um you're you're born into it. So it's like a born sacrifice. It's no getting out of it. I see a lot of people that just can't deal with their families, and people move away to another state. They probably don't want to talk about it, but they probably were born into a narcissistic cult family. And the only way that they could escape that narcissistic cult family was to pack up, leave, and go to another state and cut off all communication. No Christmases, no Thanksgivings, no birthdays, no funerals, because these people are cult like for real. They brainwash each other. Like they brainwash each other, they groom each other, and if say for instance my son was born into that family, my son could never have his own mind. My son can never branch off and do his own thing. Every thought of his nervous system is fucked up. His nervous system is shot because he can never have his own mind, his own family without running it through his father, which is the narcissistic cult leader. If he wants to do something different, he'll be exiled. If he wants to go against their wishes and talk to me, he'll be exiled. They'll give him a choice. You either want to go be with your mother or you want to be with over here with us. And for some kids, the drama just be unfolding in front of you, the fights, the chaos. It's just like juicy, tantalizing to some kids. They just want to be around that shit until they get fully grown and they know this is not how the real this is not how the real world works in real life. Once you fight, you won't let yourself leave something you fought about. Yeah. Once I found myself fighting, it just in the midst of the fights and the chaos, I felt like I was fighting. Okay, this is from my perspective when I was fighting and arguing with these people. From my perspective, I wasn't looking at it like they were a cult. I wasn't looking at it like they were narcissists. I knew something wasn't wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it. But my reason for the excuse that they were always fighting me is because they were jealous of me. If I was at my house and the sisters came over and went down to mom's house and I came, they can hear my footsteps down the door and I leave out the front door, I turn around, the sisters was right there saying something smart. I used to equate that to y'all bitches are jealous of me. Look at y'all. Y'all just can't help it. Y'all following me outside for what? To see what I got on, to see, that was what I was equating the drama, the picking, the embarrassment, the humiliation that was the reason I was like, y'all following me outside. I didn't think that this is actually a code, how these motherfuckers is grouping together, trying to inflict pain on me, bullying me, torturing me. I just thought like I can handle it, Angela. Like it's just jealousy. They like watching me. Let me make sure I put my best shit on. Let me make sure I put my best shit on. So yeah, they to give them something to talk about. See, I was really feeding into the bullshit and by me feeding into the BS, they was looking at her like she really don't get it. She a clown. But see, I was making them mad even more because like who responds to our narcissistic cult family like that. Angela is different. She's coming from a different cloth. I didn't ever give them what they want. I didn't ever say, "Oh, why are you guys following me outside? Why you just don't?" They wanted me to cry and crumble. It like be putty in their hands and figure like, oh, okay, well, I see y'all not gonna leave me alone. I can't beat them. I might as well join them. That's what they wanted me to do. That way they could have been upstairs in the house, calling the other narcissistic cult families. Oh, Angie got this upstairs. They live like this upstairs. It was always a boundary. Y'all ass downstairs, we upstairs. By y'all not getting along with me, y'all was never even invited upstairs in our house, even though he was the cult leader. He was the head leader of the family, head narcissist cult leader. So it was always that boundary. And I equated that to that's why y'all picking on me. This y'all brother house and y'all can't even get upstairs to see how y'all brother house looking. I was, 85% right, but I should never even been feeding into that shit, giving them no ammunition because words cut. My mouth slick. So it was like, I see y'all mad. Now I'm finna make y'all madder. It was like adding fuel to the fire when I should have just left it alone. Peep game, ignored it, and just moved on about my day. But see, something about me, that Chicago attitude, that mouth, I was like, let me walk a little bit slower. Chink chink to my car. Y'all see my phone? You know what I'm saying? Y'all mad. Yeah, y'all mad. But the whole thing about it is, like I said, it's a cult. So they were going to do that regardless because they wanted to run me off. I wasn't like them. I was empathetic. I was sympathetic. And my whole thing was, if y'all really had smarts, y'all try to be my friend. Maybe I'll give y'all some of the shit. Maybe I'll share some of the shit with y'all. Maybe y'all won't have to feel as rotten. But me growing up and growing out of it, me even would have been befriending them and having them have access to me, they would have been stealing my shit. I wouldn't even have to give it to them because narcissistic cult family members, they take, or they have to lie, cheat, steal, kill. You let them around your shit, they will steal from you. They steal from each other. That's just like one of the family, things that they have. Steal from each other. You can be at their house for Christmas. You lay their coat, you hang their coat up in the closet. You have some money in it, it's gone, and you like, how could I'm around my family, man? I'm around my family. I thought I was safe. No, that's what narcissistic cult families do. They steal from each other. They have the crabs in the bucket mentality. Um, they are brainwashed. They brainwash your children. From day one, they groom your children. Like I was with the narcissistic cult member, they would groom my sons to go against their mother. They groom them, they brainwash them. They always is in their ear. Your mother is not like us. Your mother will take you away from us. We will never see you. Don't let that happen. We're your family. It's only one of her, but you have all us to fall back on. We will help you. So from an early age, your child nervous system will be motherfucking shot. They teach the kids to grow up and treat their wives and kids and baby mamas and abuse them. I guarantee you, I probably will bet my life on it. My son right now is somewhere with his girlfriend, with his wife, beating the fuck out of her, running from the police, going to jail. I will bet my life on it. If he have a girlfriend, he's at that girlfriend house right now, beating on her, running from the police, getting locked up. Because my son is gonna do whatever he saw the narcissistic cult leader do, which is his father, and abuse me. That's why you have to break the generational curse and get your kids up out of that situation because abuse is learned. Whatever your kids see done at home, they will grow up and repeat. Abuse just carries on until you get up, pack your shit up, and say, enough is enough. I don't want my sons to see me get abused. Your sons will start resenting you and hating you and look at you as weak because that's the only thing they see is toxicity at home. I guarantee you my son is somewhere then went to jail from fighting his girlfriend, going to jail because he never had a chance to heal. He never had a chance to see what normal life is. And that's how they groom your kids, and that's how they brainwash the kids. The kids' nervous system is out of whack. My son used to be so nervous. When I was talking to him, he used to be doing like this all the time. He was nervous. Like he was nervous, and I think he was nervous because maybe they threatened him. Maybe his father had listening devices in the house. Maybe his father had hidden cameras in the house. Maybe he just knew that what I was telling him was right, but he couldn't go against his family. I'm telling you, he was visibly shaking every time I used to be like, just talk to him. I just gave up talking to him because I see it wasn't going to work. It's their duty to listen. You can be the mother and you say, I'm your mother. I told you to do this. They'll be like, well, my cousin told me to do this. My cousin called me. And it's like you don't have no control over your kids. The Coat family will always control your kids. You will never have any good influence over your children. It will always be bad influence over your child when you're dealing with a narcissistic Coat family. Um, their nervous system is programmed. It's programmed just like when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. The ups, the down, the up, the down, the up. Their nervous system is programmed just like how when you in a relationship with the narcissist, the up, the down, the gaslighting, the love bombing, the ignoring, the discard. It be just like that. It's not that simple to just get away from them. You just can't get away from them because it's so many of them. Like I said, the family I was associated with, it was thousands of them. It don't be that simple because they'll be looking at my son and he'll have motherfucking 100 cousins and they'll be like, how could he just leave us like that? He just abandoned and he'll be scared that they'll hurt him. He'll be scared that they're out to get him. He'll be scared that the hatred would be so strong that they would do something to him. It's real. Um so narcissistic co-families, they have the mentality it's us and them. See, I was them. I wasn't like them. I was an empath. They couldn't turn me rotten. They couldn't get me to coerce me to do bad things. They couldn't coerce me to do fraud, to scheme, to do whatever it is to get by. They couldn't coerce me to just do wrong. They couldn't like convert me. Like it wasn't like a religion. It was like a cult. So if I was around them and I had a good heart and just by me witnessing them me doing so much dirty shit and I said I went in, they would have loved me. But since I was sticking to my guns and say, man, no, this ain't right. Never heard anybody out of thousands of them, like I told you, they was thick as thieves. Nobody talked about God. Nobody talked about Jesus. Nobody went to church. It was one family member I could think about, got out, got away from them, started going to church, got married. And I think they hated her for that she didn't come back around. And back then looking on it, I was like, oh, good for them, you know what I'm saying? But the whole stigma around her start going to church, it was like, how dare she run to the Lord? How dare she get away from us? How dare she have a husband? How dare she start listening? You know what I'm saying? Because she picked Jesus and God. Y'all wanted somebody to praise the narcissistic cult leader of the family. They think he is Lord and he is not. They think he's above all rules, all regulations. The narcissists think they are above the court system. Come on now. Um, yeah, it's a us and them mentality. And I was with, like I said, the head, he was like a psychopath. The head psychopath be the most insidious. My baby daddy, he was the most insidious. He loved to torture people. Uh, he was the type, he just loved to torture people. Like if it was some, say for instance, if it was a basement, we had a basement. with some rats. Instead of him trapping the rats like a civilized human being would do and putting them in the garbage or putting some sticky tabs down on the rats, he would sit there and box the rats in and take his 40 caliber and shoot them in the head, shoot them in the head, shoot them in the head. Like he would get enjoyment out of knowing that the rats was trapped and take his 40 caliber in the basement. And I had to sit in the house and listen to them loud ass gunshots. Pow, pow. And I'm in there like, this motherfucker is sick. Why he just couldn't just, put him like set traps like a regular person, set some sticky traps or the little metal traps with some cheese and peanut butter or whatever. Why did he have to go down there with a GUN and pop him in the head? So now you gotta clean up mice brain matter splatter allegedly. Allegedly, I had to sit in the house and listen and smell gunpowder and allegedly just he's down there in the basement blowing the mice brains head off allegedly. Yeah, insidious, sick, demented. The members are the family members. The members of the cult are the family members. They are the flying monkeys. It was like checking. Okay, when my son used to be nervous and shit, when you're in a narcissistic cult family, they be allegedly they be addicted to shit like porn, professional gambling, video games, drugs, drugs. They need that. They need that release. They need that. So they need to be addicted to something, you know, video games. When a lot of toxic shit is going on and going down in the house, kids usually run to video games and be addicted to video games. When a lot of abuse is going down in the house, a lot of teenage boys, they be in there addicted to porn, masturbating in their room, just to get away from, you know, shit like that. It's called ADHD. Yeah, it is when your nervous system is shot. Because my son used to be nervous all the time, physically shaking. Yeah, thank you for that. Um, TV, yeah, they be addicted to TV a lot. Um, it's nothing. Wait, it's nothing I could really have done as a mom. I tried to get out. I tried to get out several times. So, and it takes a word of 7 to 8 to 9 times. Yeah, disassociating. They do want to disassociate, so they, find enjoyment and out of, you know, being compulsive, doing their self compulsively into bad habits. A lot of them are bad habits such as gambling, TV, video games, porn, drugs, getting high. They just want to, you know, get away. Um, it's nothing you can say or do to wake that person up. It's nothing I can say or do to wake my son up until he gets tired of it and he come to the realization of what's going on because he probably don't understand what's going on. He probably because he's in it. He doesn't understand. He probably think that's how all family dynamics are. He probably think that's how all family uh people operate. He probably thinks that that's how families are in general, and it's not. Do you know who the baby daddy is? What do you mean? I have two sons and both of them have the same father. We was together since I was 15. Do I need to block you? Of course I know who my baby daddy is. Both of my sons look just alike, and it's a blessing. And I'm gonna do a video on that one. I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna do a video on that because what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, both of my sons have the same father. I'm not ran through. I'm not slutted out. Maybe that's what they wanted me to do, to go through all the family members and crown on the family members' shoulders so they can slide up inside of me, but they know I was smart enough. So it's not many women that when you have the same mother, you have the exact same father, both of your kids will look alike, and mine look exactly alike, like twins. So what does that have to do with anything? And he's still in his life. He gets an hour supervised visits with his father. So I'm just trying to figure out what does that have to do with anything. Evidently, I know who he is because I'm speaking about him. Weirdo. Where have you been? Like from me getting out of there, away from these people, going to a shelter for 18 months, and then now I'm here on my own, living on my own. Like I'm finally away from these people. I'm finally away from them. Like where have you been? Okay, they will send people after you to pull you back in. Even if my son wants to get out this narcissistic cult family, they will send a cousin, an uncle, somebody in the family to pull them back in. Oh, he wanted to get he left. He went back home. He went to his mom. Say if my son come here, I know he won't be here for long because they will reach out to him and start calling him to pull him back in. They need him to draw him back into the cult. They do the phone chain is what it's called. It's something called the phone chain. If my son wants to get out and he comes here, they'll do something called the phone chain. That's when all the cousins will get together and call him, blow his phone up, make him feel bad. You don't need to be there with your mom. We love you. Come back. We got you, bro. We got your back, bro. What you need, we can always be there for you. Your mom, she's weak. She ain't got nothing. She lame. They'll be telling him that on the phone chain. So they need to put the sweats on him. They'll be putting the sweats on him. It'll be 5 and 6 cousins calling him. Then the narcissistic cult leader, which is his father, step in and call him, son, what's the problem? Where you at? You with your mama? Oh, here, hate that. Oh, I'm with my mama. So that'll mean that'll hurt him right there. So you stabbed us in the back. They'll be telling him like your mom left. She abandoned you. She don't love you. And then you going crawling back to your mama. You at your mama house now. No, son, no, son, you gotta come back to us. Where you at? We finna come get you. Then here go my, address be getting exposed and leaked. You got to leave them kids alone until they realize what they're in the midst of. What they're in the midst of. Um, they can't talk to them. They will talk to them to try to reprogram them. And if my son ever really chooses to get out, he will have to reprogram his whole nervous system, just like I had to reprogram my whole nervous system. I had PTSD fucking with that narcissistic co-leader. I was nervous. My motherfucking nerves were shots. You always have to reprogram your nervous system for peace, something that they can't mess with, calm, something they can't mess with, listening to God to give me instructions, something they can't mess with, peace, threatens them because they all about chaos, drama, and toxicity and abuse. Um, they will say, "How dare you?" See, people, the cousins will say, "How dare you? This is not your family." Even though that's my son. I carried him for 9 months. I had him with no motherfucking epidural. They will tell my son, "How dare you leave us? Your mother, that's not your family. We're your family." But it'd be so many of them on the phone chain. He'll be like, "You know what?" Because he'll be scared. He'll be scared. He'll be in fear for his life. They think that, what's going on in their world is amazing. Like when you in the midst of like somebody always got something going on. Somebody, a cousin always beating his mom head in and they got a front row seat. Somebody always got some drama, chaos, and everything be televised. It's like they TVs. It's like they Facebook. Well, one person in that family does under their household is televised. They do the phone chain. They call around. Such just did something. Says baby mom. Such. It's televised. That's how I know right now. My son is at his girlfriend house going to jail. It done already got circulated to me. This allegedly, it done already got circulated around to me because they talking about it. They really saying, yes, he's one of us. Yes, he's a malignant narcissist like his daddy. He loves to beat the women. That's their way of congratulating him doing the phone chain. Um, everyone has a role. The golden child, that was who I was with, the golden child. The person that the family appointed as the head narcissistic cult leader of the family. It usually be the golden child, or they just appoint people to different roles. One of his sisters, they probably was the scapegoat child. She got blamed for everything. She was never too good. Matter of fact, one of them got away and started her own business, and she's nothing like none of them. She was always kind of like me, sympathetic, empathetic. She was always caring for. She was the babysitter of the family. She was always the one like, "Oh, I watch your kids while y'all go to the club." She had a good heart. She had a good soul, and she got away. She got married, and she started her own business. But her heart wasn't all the way rotten and tormented allegedly like them. So she probably was the scapegoat of the family out of the brothers and sisters. Man was the golden child, the one that they praised, like Jesus. Um, Stay away from people who hate you guys. Even though this narcissistic cult family, they show me on many occasions their disdain for me, their hate for me, how they will steal from me, take from me, slander my name, speak bad on me, put a reputation out on my name. I still was like, you know what? I want to be around them. They look like cool people. They can do hair, they can do this. They have, they have different skills that I can learn from and ask them to do stuff. Um I still just wanted to be around them because, like I said, they would, when you're in it, these people just be like, sometimes drama could be so fun sometimes when you're young and you're innocent. I came from a good family, a wholesome family, a conservative family. So when you get around some people like this that just be avant garde, don't give a fuck, you'll be like, oh my God, they're living out and they're living out the thoughts in my head that I fight off, that I try to refrain from. So, but these people are really insidious and they will explain to you and you will see that they hate you. And I saw that they hated me. They tried to jump me. They stole from me. Allegedly put some babysitting checks in my name. Allegedly, they had to get stuff like that. Like, um, the thing, this thing is still real. Many families are cultish. They have someone who's approved, self-approved as the leader, and when they become grown, even 40s, 50s, and 60s, they still have to answer to the leader. That's what makes the family decisions for everybody. Like I said, I was with the lead cult leader. He was appointed. I don't know if it was self-appointed or the family just looked at him as the golden child, where he was the lead um leader of the narcissistic cult. He makes decisions for every single family member, whether it's 100 family members, 200 family members. They sit around a round table and they tally everybody's business, everybody's family, even if the cousins have their own family. They make the decisions on what's going on in everybody's household. Everything has to be ran through through that person. If you have a beef with somebody, allegedly they have power enough to squash that beef. That one person can go to the person you have beef with and say, "Hey, you really don't want to fuck with our family. We thick as thieves. Now I'm talking to you to squash this beef. If you don't, you can't take all out, you can't, yeah." And people really they have an influence on a lot of people, on a lot of groups. Um the next page. They have to follow all instructions, no matter if they have their own family and want to do their own thing. They have to stay entwined with them, and they have to stay in line when it comes to the narcissistic cult family. They have to pledge allegiance to the family. You know how you was in school say, "I pledge allegiance to the flag." No, when you're in a narcissistic cult family, you have a pledge of allegiance to that family. You have to be faithful to them. It's a cult. You have to prove that you're loyal to that family. You will never run. You will never tell their secrets. You will never run amok. You will never have your own brain. You will never think for yourself. You're just easily influenced by us. If you need any answers, come to us. Come to the cousins. Even though they will lead your ass into a ditch. That's what they tell each other. We have the answers to all your problems. Um, lead. They lead their life They lead their life by the person that's approved. I don't know who would live their life like that, but I want to say for a lot of you guys, it's pretty much a real thing. It's going on every day behind closed doors. You may not understand it, but you may not understand it, but you may have some idea to like, man, this shit ain't right. It's not something not right about my family. And whenever I save up enough money, I want to get the fuck out of here. I'm moving to another state, and I cannot talk to any of my family members ever again a day in life. It's a lot of people that flee to other states and cut off all communication with their family. They don't have any words to describe them, but this is why I'm making this video today. Um it's usually the person that everybody looks up to. Like I said, my baby daddy was the person that everybody looks up to in that family. Um, the mothers of the family make their children look up to this person. Okay, my son's father was that person. So if other family members, mothers, like the cousins, mothers, They always praise my baby daddy name, even from the newborns, the toddlers. Say his name was Glass. Say my baby daddy name was Glass. Any little cousins, even newborns, they be like Glass. Wait till Glass see you. Glass will be so proud of you. And all throughout all the cousins' life, they will always talk about Glass. How Glass has the smartest. Glass has these buildings, these businesses. Glass is so rich. Glass has the prettiest girlfriend. Glass has the best house. Glass has the best cars. Glass has the best relationships with doctors and lawyers. Glass can, whatever you get into, Glass can get you out of. That's how they praise the narcissistic cult leader. So it can be first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, all the way to ninth, 10th cousin. They gonna know about Glass. Glass is gonna ring. It's gonna be a household name in all their bloodline families' houses. They're gonna praise Glass like he's a god, like he's the Lord. Um, yeah, it's like he's a god, like he's everybody's favorite. This person usually have more money than everybody. They usually be a narcissist. The people who look up to him are usually narcs too. The people who looked up to my narcissistic baby father, they were narcissists too. The difference is the leader thinks about the flying monkeys as less than, even though the difference is the leader, excuse me, the difference is the leader thinks about the flying monkeys are less than. My baby daddy, which was the lead, he looked at all his other family members as he was better than them, even though they praised him, even though they loved him, even though they was starved from attention from them, even though he probably fed some of them, even though he gave them, advice. He looked at his other family members as less than. He was better than all them. He looked at them as peasants. He looked at them as the scum of the earth. He just dealt with them. He just dealt with them and gave them their role. You're going to be appointed to do this. He just appointed people to do stuff. But he looked at everybody in his family as he was better than them. They were less than, and he was more. Um, he thinks as himself as smart and everybody else is dumb. He thought he was the smartest person in the world and everybody else was a dummy, including me. I told you I used to be like, Angela, you think you're so perfect. Angela, you think you're so smart. He thought that he was the smartest, even though I had the degrees. He used to be like, you got them degrees, but your ass still dumb. Because I was still with you. Because I'm still with you. That's why that's not, they as be illiterate. They as don't be graduated from high school. They just got them hustling mentality. They know how to hustle because they've been out there in the streets a long time. They they be street smart. They got the hustling mentality. Book smart, they couldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. But street smart, oh yeah, they know how to rob, steal, kill, fraud, scam. Yeah, they know how to get to the top doing all that shit. Um, he doesn't tell them. He will never tell them, you know, that I'm smart. I'm smarter than you. I think I'm smarter than you. That you're dumb. You're just a flying monkey. I'm using you for information. I'm using you for your resources. I'm using you for your money. I'm using you because you rub elbows with people. He would never tell them. He'll just be keep it cute. And when he turned their back, he'd be like, man, they dumb as hell. They dumber than a box of rocks. I done heard him say it. You know what I'm saying? They look at him as the smart one. And everybody do look at him. They used to look at him like he's the smart one. Oh, Glass, he's so smart. and his girlfriend is so pretty, and and shit, like they got a beautiful house because you know they don't make their own decisions. Nobody in that family has ever made their own decisions. It was always ran through glass first, and he made the decisions for everybody in the family. They have to say on everyone and everything. He makes them look stupid for years for thinking and having their own thoughts. If my son came to him and said, "Dad, I want to do this and do this," he'd be like, "Now, where did you get that foolish idea? No, you're going to go into the family business." He will make your ass think you're dumb for having your own thoughts. You don't supposed to have your own thoughts when you're in a narcissistic cult family. You follow the directions of the head leader of the cult, of the family. The person who would never be a part of the family is me. You know why? I will never be a part of that family because I'm an empath. I feel deeply. I have discernment. They knew it from the first moment they saw me. Oh, she's not like us. They have a us and them mentality. They don't want nobody to have. I'm a rebel to them. What? She do her own thing. She follow her own intuitions. We can't have an influence on Angela. Oh, she's not like us. Beat her ass. Get her. Because I am an empath, I decide when I'm not going to be controlled. I made a decision, a conscious decision a long time ago. Y'all can't control me. Y'all can't tell me what to do. They will talk your ass off a cliff. They will tell you to do something, and I could have been in jail for years. They will just off you just being around them, and I told you it was so exciting, and they would have had influence over me. You see what I'm saying? Peer pressure. Peer pressure is a mug, and that's why I tell you God is so good that I didn't never feed into it. I ain't never listened to it. I always thought like, no, I'm not finna do that. Period. I'm not gonna be controlled. The leader had a major problem with me. My baby daddy, he had major problems with me because I just wouldn't lay down and die and obey. They couldn't convert me. They couldn't coerce me. They couldn't get me to join the cult. They couldn't convince me to stop living in the light and start living in the dark. The leader had a major problem with me, which was my baby daddy. He was the lead. I was called the rebel. The dummies are like puppies or puppets on the string. You usually see the family members, they're controlled. They usually control, they're like puppets on the string. Whatever Glass wants, Glass gets. If Angie call you, let me know Angie called me. Then be like, okay, Glass, I'll let you know. You can call them and be like, oh man, me and your cousin ain't together. And they be like, what happened? Knowing damn well they already didn't heard the story. That's why I say when you leave, you gotta leave all of them alone. They live their whole life like that. They are controlled. They are really in hell. They protect the coat. Don't go complaining to the flying monkeys because they're gonna go back and tell the cult member. I came in this world by myself and I'm gonna leave by myself. You gotta always remember that because God is real. God is real and you reap what you sow. If y'all have any questions, beautiful no filters. Thank you. No fillers or no filters. Your eyes are world class. Thank you. Don't start hyping my head up. Please, I be trying to come on here as a tool, get these lessons out. When y'all start doing stuff like that, I be start feeling yummy and shit. Stay focused, and you see, leave me alone, leave me alone. And that's and I that I'm gonna use that as a prime example. You see how you can say something to somebody, and I could just smile and just feel all warm and tingly inside. I always truly believe in my heart the narcissistic cult member always told the flying monkeys, never tell that bitch anything good about herself. Even if she look nice today, don't tell her. I don't want her to smile. I don't want to see that light. I don't want her to feel that energy. I don't want her to feel good about myself. Cause me thinking back, even when I was around them, they used to look at me like I wasn't shit. I believe he told them never compliment Angela. Never tell her she's pretty. Never tell her anything that could boost her self esteem. We want her to feel like shit. And that just, those compliments just made me feel like, just realize that. Because they never, ever. That's why I was always was on the defense like, y'all jealous, y'all jelly. Y'all know I'm cute. I'm jelly. They knew I was, but they were appointed to make me feel like I wasn't, to kill my self-esteem. Yeah. Um Good morning, friend. Where you at? I'm in my skin. I'm gonna end this video on a good note. I'm not gonna go through all the trolling and respond to any of the trolling. I might come back on later. But if you're here, if you haven't subscribed and anything I said today resonated, if you have ever been around a narcissistic cult family and you felt anything that I said was true, please subscribe because these are the lessons I teach every day. I stay up at night and I write down things in my journal. My journal could be bought off of Amazon. The link is in the bio. If you ever have any topics that you will really want me to touch on that you're going through, just put them in the chat. One of my mods will pick it up and let me know. Always remember to do right and kill everything.